All right. Welcome, everyone. Go ahead and get going. Bosley, you were in first. You want to roll us a D100? Three. All right. Let's see. What is three? Okay. Three is describe the last time that you had a really good laugh.
If you're asking me, it's the last time that I tricked Mix into going out to wash my undergarments, and I put tar on them, and they got stuck on his hands, and I laughed hysterically. I mean, come on, a guy's shaking your undergarments around with his hands, and he can't get them off. It's really fun.
All right. Okay. Wait, where did they move that to? There it is. Jinku, how about you?
Jinku can't really recall a time that she had a really good laugh. She had very, very serious upbringing, very serious adult life up until coming with this group. Wasn't a whole lot of laughs.
Fair enough. All right, how about Boo?
Can you come back to me?
Yeah. Blossom.
Setting the party mansion on fire gives Blossom a good chuckle.
All right. And Sarah. Do I need to hop back to Boo for a second? If Boo's got something. Do you got something, Boo?
What gives me a good chuckle? Honestly, like just watching people and watching them stumble and like hurt themselves, or people causing themselves misery is always kind of funny. I don't mind helping along with just a little bit of magic, maybe.
So Boo's in the Schadenfreude.
Yeah, very much.
Okay. All right. Sarah, you got something?
Probably the last time Sarah had a good laugh was when she was teaching the kids how to some like tips and tricks on pickpocketing, and gave them a competition to see who could steal the best thing, and just watching them try and figure out how to one up each other.
Okay. Cool. Sweet. Thank you for that. All right. Does anybody want to give us a little recap of what you guys got up to here in the Blue Alley last time?
We left the room that we found the crystal unicorn thing in.
Yep.
And decided we wanted to keep exploring. And came across the room that shall not be named for Jinku's sake. And
Much appreciated.
found a secret room where Mix was able to get some you said they were like Greek fire?
Kind of, yeah.
Like
The alchemist's fire.
cocktails. Alchemist fire.
Yeah.
And so we all have one of those now.
Yep.
And then we found this other room after going up some stairs and found like a secret room where we discovered that some sorcerer must be living. And there was some like transmutation magic going on in there, and we tried to figure some stuff out and failed. And the box that I put in my bag exploded, if I remember right.
Yeah, when you guys
And
left.
there's just like this big ball of light in the room now.
Yep.
End scene.
Pretty much. Yep. Yeah, so you guys covered a pretty good bit of ground in Blue Alley last time. Like you did get the silver key for that door on the other side of place that you have, so you haven't been over there yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. We
And
got
you
the
did-
silver key, but we can't figure out how to open the tiny door in the secret room.
Yeah, there's the tiny golden door with the coin slot in the kind of old winery looking room. Yep. So those are the two main doors you haven't gone in.
I thought when we left, Mix was standing at the ivory door trying to pry it off because everybody betrayed him.
You might have been.
I mean, did we really betray you?
I forget,
Yeah.
how did we so-called betray him? I think that's when my internet crashed.
Because we all took your side.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And we were willing to leave him in there alone with a mimic.
Actually,
good
I
times.
clearly remember Mix leaving and going down with his crowbar trying to pry out the separate door for his bedroom.
Where did you get a crowbar?
Oh, it's in my bag of adventurous stuff.
Alright then. Well, Mix is a couple hallways away then when this large ball of light bursts out of this box in Zara's bag, kind of scattering papers everywhere as it does so.
Rude.
Yeah, I know. So everybody go ahead and roll up initiative as this pops out.
Good thing this isn't my other cleric, or she would have had an aneurysm.
All right. So it looks like. Hold on. Let me fix the. Oh, what the?
You gotta reset it.
How do I?
gotta-
Where's the reset?
You gotta click menu, and then like a little circle pops up, and then you gotta click like initiative. You got it there. I'm looking on your stream. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a delay. But
Okay.
then you.
I had it. I just re-rolled. There we go. Okay. Now it's right. Or I can manually change everything. Let's see. Mix was a 3. Jinku is a 17. Or wait, no, that's not. Mix was a 22. Oops. Blossom is 18. Boo is 9. Sarah is 17. Okay, there we go. Drop the turn onto the first. So we start out with Mix, who is off on his own, down by this door with a crowbar. Are you just trying to do your thing, Mix?
Do any of them scream?
You're like really far away from us now.
Yeah, you're like, I can see there's one.
Well,
There's
it's-
2 doors between you and them, as well as about,
well, and
100.
2 staircases.
Yeah, and 2 staircases, and maybe
Lots of
100 and
walls.
something feet and walls.
Well, Nix is gonna roll a strength check and see if he can pry this door off.
Okay. Alright, so Mix, you kind of try to wrench your crowbar into the kind of space between some of the hinges here on this ivory door. And try as you might to kind of bash your weight against it. It doesn't seem to have budged all that much. Is there anything else you do on your turn?
Nope. Not unless the people start screaming.
Alright.
You won't hear us even if we do.
In the blue alley, no one can hear you scream. Alright, that brings us to Blossom. There is a large, glowing ball of light right next to Zara here. It's kind of crackling with this electricity.
I will try to hit it with my axe, I guess.
Okay. Alright, that hits. Alright, so you bring this axe down through this will-o-the-wisp here. And, like, as you're doing so, like, as your axe passes through because this creature is electric, your axe kind of feels a little tingly in your hands as it passes through this and trying to, kind of shave off some of the energy with what you can. It does manage to do at least a little bit of damage to it. Anything else on your turn, Blossom?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. That brings us to Zyara.
Let's see. I'm gonna try my crossbow.
Okay.
I don't remember how to roll for this.
So the crossbow, like the picture with the dice, is your attack roll, and then if it hits, the other one to the right is the damage.
Okay.
Oh, you're not targeting it right now.
Oh. Oops. Have I mentioned it's been a long week?
Go ahead and reroll that there. Okay, so that misses. Your crossbow, you kind of hold this up. It's kind of hard to see as you're pointing at this. I mean, you're right next to this thing, and it sheds just quite a bright light. So you're almost a little blinded looking at it, and try to shoot with this crossbow, and you just kind of hear it tink off the stone wall on the other side. Anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. Brings us to Jinku.
I'm going to move up between Zyara and Blossom and hit at the thing with my...
Okay. Alright, so you bring your flail down on this will-o'-the-wisp, and it seems to kind of deftly zip a little bit out of the ways of the chains of that as it flies past. Alright. So this wisp, Jinku, like after you've striked out at it here, you feel this kind of almost draining force on you in reply to your flail that you had as you struck. And as this draining feeling is like coming over you, you manage to kind of resist it and shake it off. And you kind of come back to your wits. You bring your wits back about you and feel that you've managed to stave it off, whatever it was trying to do to you. And then after it does this, the room suddenly gets quite a bit darker as the wisp turns invisible. You can still kind of feel the electricity in the air, so you know it's still around somewhere. But it is now not visible. And that brings us to Boo.
Well, I guess there's not much I can do. I'm gonna open the door. The door to this room is right behind me. The room, that kind of smaller room with the puzzle thing that we couldn't figure out.
Yeah, that room is the one right behind you.
Okay. I'm gonna open the door and kind of stand halfway in.
Okay.
And that's what I'll...
Okay. Alright, looks like you are actually up again at the top of the round, Boo.
I will hold my turn.
You hold your turn. Are you holding any actions or anything in that, or just holding your turn?
I will hold my whole turn. Yes.
Okie doke. Alright. So, this wisp moves somewhere else in the room. And suddenly this room lights up in quite a bit of light as this wisp reappears directly behind Jinku and Blossom here. And it tries to electrify Blossom. So you feel this arc of energy kind of shooting out of this ball of light towards you, Blossom, but you manage to dodge out of the way, and it kind of crackles against the floor and fizzles out as that passes by. That brings us to Zara. This wisp is now just around the corner behind Jinku.
Okay. I'm going to step over here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try my crossbow again.
Okay.
There we go.
That hits. Alright, so you shoot your crossbow across at this wisp. You manage to, as you're kind of bringing your crossbow up, to shield your eyes a little bit against the light and get a better aim on it. And this crossbow whizzes through this ball of energy, and you hear it kind of hit on the other side, but it seems to have kind of taken a little bit of its essence with it along the way, doing a little bit of damage. Anything else on your turn, Zara?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Mix.
Have Smiths heard any screams for help?
Have any of you been screaming?
Nope.
Nope.
Nobody has been screaming.
He's still trying to rip the store off.
Alright. Alright. Mix, you again kind of wedge your crowbar in between the gap between the door and the hinges here, and kind of get a good running start and try to smash yourself against the other end of this crowbar. And you do manage to pop off one of the hinges. You manage to kind of wrench the footings that were holding it into the wall on the top. The top hinge is now loose, or now off.
Mix is very excited. He has no idea what's going on.
Anything else besides that? Nope. Okay. All right, Blossom.
I'll turn to the wisp and try attacking again.
Okay. Alright, so Blossom, you again bring your axe down on this wisp, and it seems the electricity that had kind of been in your axe a little bit, giving a little tingle, threw you off a little bit, and you whiff it, striking through that wisp. Anything else in your turn, Blossom?
No, that would be it.
Okay. Jinku.
Gonna try with my flail again.
Okay, fire away. Alright, Jinku, you strike with your flail, and again, that misses through. The chains kind of passing along the edge of its kind of lit, the brightest part of its aura, but doesn't seem to take anything with it. Anything else?
After Jinku, I'll step out of the room and cast Toll the Dead.
Okay, Toll the Dead away. Alright, so your little bell rings out in this room here, and unfortunately does not seem to have much of an effect on this wisp.
Okay.
Alright, looks like Zara, you're back up at the top of the round.
I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay, fire away.
Damn.
Alright, so your guiding bolt zips through the air here, and what does that look like? What is that, like a particular color, or?
It's kind of like a purple, like almost similar to my skin tone.
Okay, alright.
Like really dark in the center, but gets lighter as it goes out.
Okay, sure. So, yeah, this guiding bolt, he kind of arcs across the room here, and kind of goes right over the wisp that's floating in the air here and hits the wall behind it, which kind of momentarily glows purple for a second or two and then kind of fades back to its normal wall color. Anything else, Sarah?
No.
Alright, Blossom.
Take a tighter grip on my axe and swing again.
Okay. Alright, even with that tighter grip, that unfortunately still manages to miss. This wisp kind of has a little crackle, kind of pops just out of the way as that axe flies past. Anything else?
No, that would be it.
Okay. Alright, so this wisp, again, kind of tries to, you feel this kind of draining force on you now, Blossom, coming over you after you just tried to strike at this. And even as this is kind of, you feel this kind of pulling motion coming out of your body, though, you manage to kind of grip your axe a little tighter and pull yourself back and resist that urge that it was coming over you. Which brings us to Boo.
I will do Toll the Dead again.
Okay. Alright, that manages to take this time. Go ahead and roll that damage. Nice. Okay, so your little bell rings out here in this room, and you can see the wisp kind of distorts a little bit as the sound of this bell kind of rings around it here, kind of, you know, almost kind of like a static type of effect. It's kind of like kind of distorts in the air there on the edges. So it seems that did a little bit of work to it. Anything else, Boo?
No, that's it.
Okay. Mix.
Mix is going to still be trying to pry this door off.
Okie doke.
One more inch. He has no idea what's going on.
Alright. Oh, it looks like... Was that strength save there? That was your roll there?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Alright, so, again, kind of bolstered by your successful breaking of the hinge last time. Try to set up the same sort of thing on the lower hinge. The angle's a bit awkward. You aren't quite able to get quite as good of a hit as you would have wanted. And the crowbar just kind of pops back out of the gap between the two. Jinku.
Alright, I'm gonna go with a little different approach. I'm going to try out one of my newfound magics. I'm going to do acid splash at this thing.
Alright.
Not to be confused with ass splash.
I don't know. I like that one better.
I really do too.
Alright. Alright, so you cast this acid splash. How does that look like when you're casting acid splash? Like, what is that?
So it's a bubble of acid, so I imagine it's probably like the color of absinthe, just a deep green.
Yeah.
Just beautiful round sphere.
Okay.
See-through. Just very gorgeous.
Sure.
Sayara loves it.
So as this, this kind of emerald absinthe sphere of acid is kind of floating in the air towards this, this wisp kind of dodges a little bit out of the way, and you see like a little tendril of electricity kind of poke out and like pop it in midair, and just kind of splashes onto the wall. And you see the wall kind of take a little bit of damage from this, but the wisp is unharmed.
That's really rude. Popping people's bubbles.
How dare it?
Boo! Up at the top again.
Same thing.
All right. Again, that takes. Seems your bell is taking some hold here. All right. So your bell again rings out, and again, maybe a little bit more this time. You hear this kind of crackling screech of sorts, and this ball of light distorts a little. Seems you're doing some good work here with this bell. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Jinku.
I'm gonna try my hand axe this time.
All right. Hand axe is a no-go. That whiffs right through.
What the hell? This thing is just ridiculous.
Anything else besides that? Nope. Okay.
No.
Blossom.
I'm gonna try my new thing.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm going to rage.
All right. Barbarian rages.
Okay, you remember what happens when I do that, right?
He's like like a table we roll on, right? I think it was.
Yes.
All right. Let me get that pulled up here. Okay. So go ahead and roll for me a d8. Let's see what happens. Very nice. Alright, so yes, so Shadow's Weaver on the weapon of your choice you're holding. Is that going to be your battle axe, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. So until your rage ends, your weapon deals psychic damage instead of bludgeoning, slashing, or piercing. Gains the light and thrown properties with a normal range of 20 feet and long range of 60. So if you drop it or throw it, the weapon dissipates and reappears in your hand. Okay, that's cool. Nice. So you got a cool psychic shadow blade now. I forget, is rage is like a bonus action, right? Doesn't take your action.
Yes.
Okay, so you can still attack.
Yes. And I will attack at this wisp.
All right. Ah, unfortunately that misses. So you swing this. Well, so I mean, these shadows are weaving around. Like, are these like black shadows? Like, how do you imagine this looks? Since this is your rage, when you get this particular effect.
Not like super dark shadows, kind of like a light shadow from a cloud. Like you can still see the object, but it looks like, you know, there's this moving shadow on it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Right. So you've raged, and you see this kind of shadow pass up the length of your battle axe here, and then immediately swing at this wisp, and it unfortunately manages to dodge out of the way, and you are left panting in your rage, holding your battle axe, waiting for the next chance to strike. Which brings us to the wisp, which responds to you. You see another kind of arc of electric energy, shooting out of the side of this in your direction, and in your state of rage, you see that coming pretty well and manage to dodge out of the way before that strikes. And as that misses, the wisp again also goes invisible. Which brings us to Zara.
I'm gonna use my Sacred Flame again.
Okay. On what? You can't see the wisp.
Oh, I missed that.
I mean, you could try casting it somewhere, if you want to try to figure out where it's at.
Can I feel the static anywhere around me, or is it just kind of like vague energy everywhere?
How about you roll an Arcana check for me, and we'll see how well you can kind of detect where that kind of electric feeling's coming from. Okay. All right. So you do feel it a little stronger near you than you did a moment ago, but you aren't quite sure what direction it's in. You just feel it's a little stronger.
Just, because why not?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast my Sacred Flame. I was just seeing if there was any, like, kind of radius or anything. No. Okay. I'm gonna cast my Sacred Flame in this corner, kind of near the door
Okay.
of that hidden room.
Here, I'll let you... Alright, so... Let me roll... So you did manage to find where it was, actually. I'll run it back on. Go ahead and target that. And... Or wait, well, see, it's a Dex DC 13. Okay, let me roll it for the Wisp real quick. Alright, that fails. Go ahead and roll the damage, and I'll just apply it manually.
Wait, no. Damage.
Nice. Alright. So this Sacred Flame, you kind of cast it on this empty space next to you here, hoping that you found your target. And it does. Like, you see this wisp kind of reappear out of its invisibility, and these sacred flames kind of wreathing around it and kind of flickering across it, and again it kind of distorts, and you hear these kind of electric screechings of sorts, and takes quite a bit of damage. Nice job.
Yay!
Mix. Fuck up that door.
Assuming nobody has screamed.
I mean, the Will-O-Wisp screamed.
Yeah, I mean, the Will-O-Wisp has been making some kind of electrical noises. They're kind of hard to tell what they are from how far away you are, but like you have heard some noises.
Nick's still trying to pry this ivory door off. He's like,
All right.
This Jacob off. That's all he cares about.
All right.
Oh, your ass is gonna get so kicked when she finds out.
All right, so you again kind of try to lodge this crowbar in between the sides there, and try to get a good run at it to get a nice kick, and that still doesn't seem to be quite a good angle for you. Kind of hurt your ankle a little bit in the process. Not enough to like damage you, but your ankle feels a little uncomfortable from this. Anything else, Mix?
No. He's like ignorant to everything that's going on.
All right. So this wisp, having been found here, it retaliates at you, Zyara.
Maybe
Again,
it
with this
should
electric
piece up the
shock
butt.
towards your direction, but you manage to see that coming. Doesn't seem to be very good at this electric shock. It seems every single one of these is missed. Alright. So Zara, you managed to dodge out of the way of that. Boo!
Will-O-Wisp has also had a long week.
I guess so. It has. And it was in that box for God knows how long. Alright. Boo rings out this bell. This wisp is right in front of your face. And, being right near you probably isn't the best for this bell. And it takes a good bit of damage from that. Anything else, Boo?
Nope.
Okie doke. Blossom. Wisp is now off to your right.
I'm gonna try to attack it again.
Okay. Oh, man. Damn. You swing down this psychic great axe that you have here, which looks pretty badass, but unfortunately it still misses its mark. Mix?
Oh, he's gonna keep prying on this door.
This poor door.
He really doesn't know what's going on.
Man, oh man. Alright. So you, once again, try to wedge this crowbar in there. You get a pretty good hit this time. The hinges are loose. They're not out, but it does seem a little bit looser than it was before. It seems you're getting there.
Nick's just gonna start getting really happy. He's gonna get his ivory door.
Alright, Sarah.
I'm just gonna use Sacred Flame again.
Alright. Airplane. Alright, the Sacred Flame comes down, and this wisp manages to see it coming this time, and dodges out of the way of your holy fire.
For now, it is fueled with anger.
Jinku.
I'm gonna move over to the wisp and going to attack again with my flip.
Okay. That hits. Roll that damage. Nice. Very nice. So you bring your flail down on this wisp, and as the tails of your flail pass through it, it manages to kind of piece the essence of this thing out into several pieces, and it kind of dissipates away, and you kind of still feel a tingle through this flail as its electricity kind of dissipates, but you guys have done it.
I love getting that killing hit.
Very nice. Alright. So you find yourself in this room. Mick's still nowhere to be seen. And yeah, you guys have checked around everywhere in here already. So you did find that secret room in the corner there. And you have the silver key. And you have that golden door you haven't quite figured out what to do with. But you do know where the silver door is. So that's something to go with.
Well, that was unexpected.
No lollygagging up there. Nick's is gonna keep prying this door. So you gotta hold her.
Yeah, feel free. All right. Since that hinge is loose, go ahead and give me another one of those with advantage as well. All right. So with that strike, you manage to pop off that last hinge, and this ivory door kind of clunks over onto the ground. The four of you up in the other room kind of hear this loud thud in the distance. It's difficult to tell what it is, but Mix is not with you guys, so God knows.
Well, do I think we know where your idiot went?
We should probably collect him.
Mix is gonna start dragging this thing towards the entrance. He's gonna do it in a way that will cause the least amount of damage. So, what do you want me to roll for that?
I'd say probably a dexterity, since you're trying to kind of balance this thing, keep it from dinging up too much. Okay. So you manage to, you make it up to the corner, up around the corner there, you're in front of that big mural now. And as far as you can tell, you managed to get it there without too much trouble. There might be a ding somewhere on it, but otherwise it seems to be in pretty good condition still. Considering you just ripped it off the wall.
So, assuming the map looks accurate, there is a decorative throw pillow on that couch in there, right?
I mean, sure.
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 Okay. I'm gonna go in there and grab the throw pillow and cut it open with my dagger and take out all the stuffing and make a makeshift bag out of it, since that fucking will-o-wisp destroyed my bag.
There you go. That works.
Little shithead.
And I'm gonna go collect all my shit, and then I'm gonna go up these stairs and try and find that little shit.
I assume the rest of you follow along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll fall.
Okay. Well, you guys go ahead and move your stuff all the way back towards the entrance.
Although there is this other staircase we haven't.
Oh, we should check this out.
That's true. There is that one staircase.
Shall we do this before we go find your idiot?
Well, the idiot's right down the hall there.
Yeah, you guys can see him. He's at the other end of the hall, kind of grinning widely.
So,
Do
Jenku
we-
sees him with the door.
Yes, do I see him with the door?
Oh yeah, you see him with the door.
You little son of a bitch, and I'm gonna go running at him. And I'm gonna try to tackle him.
Max, what is your reaction to this?
I'm gonna throw vicious mockery at her.
All right. Go ahead and roll that. Alright. So, Jinku, you take 1 point of damage as Mix kind of hurls these insults at you as you start running towards him. I'm gonna guess this probably just pisses you off even more.
Oh yes, and I just start running faster at him. I mean to hurt him.
Okay. Go ahead and both of you roll a strength save for me here. Alright. So, Mix, you don't get knocked over, but Jenku pins you against the back wall here. So you're currently right up and close with this Loxodon, an angry Loxodon, pinned against the wall.
I told you to leave the door alone.
I offer
I'm
some
telling you
candy.
right now. Would you rather us or somebody else profit off this store?
I don't want anybody to profit off the door. And now I'm going to drop him, and I'd like to try to destroy the door.
I offer Boo and Blossom some candy while I munch on it.
Yeah, I like some candy.
Yeah, I'll eat some candy.
As a reaction, can I do shocking grasp?
Okay, sure, we'll give you that. Alright. Alright, so Jenku Mix is pinned under you here, and you kind of feel him kind of reach up with his hand, and you feel kind of a jolt come through you. Seems to be trying to get you off of him here.
Ooh, that hurts so much. Okay, now I want to try to destroy this door.
Okay. I think I want to go. Let's see. I didn't think we'd be fighting a door today.
You've made us fight carpet. Come on.
I like to keep you on your toes.
Well, I guess let's do. Let me see here.
So the objects will usually have like an AC and a hardness.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm looking. I'm checking that out now.
Whatever she does, Boo is going to, or Nix is going to block it with his body.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay. I guess go ahead and roll some kind of attack, whatever you're attacking with, Jinku, and we'll see.
Oh, I'm picking this thing up and throwing it down on the ground.
Okay. I guess just roll a strength then. Wow. Nice. Okay. So, Jinku, you pick up this door, and I guess I'm trying to think if it Mix, you're trying to block this with your body. I guess Mix, do a dexterity save for me. Alright, Mix, you do not manage to get in between Jinku and that door in time. And Jinku, with enraged might here, you pick that thing up and chuck it against the wall, and it cracks pretty cleanly in half.
I didn't think that's actually gonna work.
It worked pretty. You rolled pretty good on that strength check there.
God.
You were fucking mad.
Livid Loxodon here.
Oh, well, that happened.
Nix is going to touch her with friends
You fucking touched me.
and try to calm her down.
Oh my
And
god.
say, it was just for us to be able to profit off of. I was not trying to make you angry. And he's gonna roll a charisma with friend.
Ivory, Loxodon, think it through.
Oh man.
So he rolls 22 charisma with advantage.
Oh, now you're rolling good. Didn't really work to save your door now, did it?
Well, at least that
But-
with that it
but
seems to
he's
at least
trying-
calm things down a little bit with that charisma roll.
He's trying to make her understand that he was doing it for profit, not as an insult to her. And that we can take 2 halves of these doors and we can magically heal them and we can make a profit. You want
Mix.
to do this, right?
Mix.
No,
If you
look at the
really,
roll. Look at
if
the
you,
roll.
she's not getting mad. She's just talking to you. Mix, if you really cared about not insulting me, you would not take this door with you.
I'm taking these two halves no matter what.
Then just know that I plan to make your life miserable.
I take that as a challenge.
Oh, man. Oh.
Challenge accepted.
So here's a list of his known likes and dislikes, as well as known allergies and irritants.
Man, it would be a shame if Jenku happened to have some bottle full of magical fire that could burn that door.
Is ivory flammable? I guess.
Oh, that's a good question. Hold on.
Probably have to be really hot.
I would think so.
Mix is gonna grab the two halves of these doors and drag them towards the entrance and go towards the silver hallway going, we have the key. Let's go this way.
We haven't been up this North Stair, though.
Ivory is not flammable, so the
Yeah,
process
But it'll
is akin.
burn.
Yeah, it'll burn and turn into ash, but it's not flammable.
And if it's magical fire, it could theoretically be hot enough to severely damage it.
Sure.
Oh, I really want to burn it.
Mix is gonna walk up towards these stairways and be like, let's go. I'm done with this lexicon.
Alright.
Are you carrying the door or did you set it somewhere?
I'm leaving where you smashed it, you stupid elephant.
Watch yourself. Well, hey, if he's leaving it unattended, I'd like to light this bitch on fire.
You could also continue to try and break it into tinier pieces.
Oh,
if
that
you
is
didn't
a
want to
lot
waste
more
your fire.
fun. That is a lot more fun. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to slam it down again.
Alright.
Okay. Go ahead and break that ivory into tinier pieces. Because I can still let off as more art.
I mean, not if
Break
she
it off.
hides it.
Alright, Jinko, you pick up some of these halves of this door here and try to, heft it against the walls. Do what you can to try to break it. But it seems that the rage strength you had a moment ago has faded a little bit and you don't manage to make a dent in it.
Alright, I want to burn this bitch then. It is worth it to me.
Alright. Blossom, you're hearing talk of burning going on.
Yeah, you like fire.
Oh, okay. She still has the effects of friends on her before she wants to strangle me.
I don't
So
want
I'm
to strangle
going to-
you.
Yeah, she's not coming
I
after
wanna-
you right now. She's coming after
I'm
the
not
door.
coming for you. I'm coming for the door.
No, she still has the effect of friends. So I'm gonna roll a check on that and
Okay.
try to convince her to follow us up this stairway instead of messing with that door more.
Okay. Oof. Not so good of a check.
Yeah, how'd that go for
You're
ya?
not very convincing.
Seriously? That's supposed to roll with advantage. Really?
Yeah, that's even a bigger oof. Ouch.
Wait, why is that rolling as 1?
Hmm.
No, that's not supposed to
Okay, yeah, something may be off there. Let me check.
That doesn't look right. Do you need to have me targeted?
Oh, it's a charisma check.
Yeah, just roll your charisma. There you go. Well, that was the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yes, it was.
So with that,
that's Jenko.
with that roll on friends, Jinku, you do manage to be persuaded a little away from the door. It's still there on the floor, but for now, you're persuaded away from the door.
Oh, she has 1 minute before she realizes what I did to her. So.
You better do some stuff quick. So, are you guys checking out this door to the north here?
Yeah, I'm going north.
Okay. Let me get this in view for y'all. Alright. Are you all heading in here with Sarah? So Sarah, you open the door here, and you see beyond this door about a 20 foot by 20 foot area that appears to be a pasture of some kind. It's got this lovely lush grass. There's a water trough over in the corner, some trees, and above you the sky is like a beautiful clear sky full of clouds, sunlight. It's pretty pleasant. And you see kind of to the north and to the east of this room that there's these two round, almost kind of silo-like structures. And inside each of them, there is a silver-plated ox skull that is kind of sitting on a pedestal inside them. And both of these silos have one.
Next is gonna immediately go to the north one, try to steal it, run back.
Okay. So you grab this skull, and as soon as you take it out of the silo, it crumbles to dust.
No!
Maybe you should quit trying to steal all the things.
You do also notice when you went into that room that the skull was kind of covered in runes all over it, and the walls and floor of these kind of silo type areas have this kind of crazy geometric pattern all over the place on them.
Can I make sense of it?
Do an investigation check for me. Okay. So you kind of take a closer look at this geometric pattern that's kind of all over everywhere in this room, and you notice that it's the image of a key just repeated over and over and over and over again, just everywhere, all sorts of directions. It's just all little keys in patterns everywhere.
Can I figure it out and pick up the dust and get the silver skull back out of the room?
Well, once you, after that skull had crumbled to dust, about 10 seconds later or so, it reappeared on the pedestal in the middle of the room.
You roll what type of checks does you have to roll to figure this out?
Let's see, if you... I guess I should mention a detail about the skulls. So the runes that are on the skulls, they are just on the horns. So the horns of these have runes all over them.
Has a minute passed yet?
Yeah, I'd say a minute's probably passed by this point.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna sneak out while he's occupied and go back to the door.
What are the rest of you doing in here?
I'd like to investigate the room that I'm in.
Okay, pasture room.
Yeah.
I mean, from what you can tell, like looking around in the room, it looks like you're in like a pasture. Like it doesn't look like you're in like a room. Like it seems like you've like stepped out of this door like onto a hill, and there's grass in these trees and this water trough and things like that. And like you try to walk around and you kind of find yourself coming up against like a barrier of sorts. So like it seems like you can't go past a certain ways, but like just the way it looks looking around, it looks like you're in like the middle of a pasture.
Okay. But there's nothing like out of the ordinary.
I mean, aside from the whack ass silo rooms.
Yeah, but I mean like in the room that I'm in, it just
No,
kind of
it
looks
just seems like a
normal.
pasture.
Okay. I'm gonna go into this other silo room,
Okay,
and I'd like to do an investigation in here as well.
sure. So from what you can tell, looking in here, it's the same sort of thing as in the other room. Like this geometric pattern that's everywhere on the walls. It's just these little keys everywhere, just repeated over and over. The skull that's on the pedestal has runes on its horns. But other than that, it seems pretty much identical to the other room.
And I'm sorry, did you say what those runes were? Like, if there was something that, like, I could read, or is it something different?
It doesn't look like any sort of runes you know or are familiar with in any way. But they're just on the horns.
I'm not sure what check you want to take there.
What are you investigating there? The
The skull, but it rolled all sorts of.
Oh, okay.
really fast.
We'll just take the best one. Why not? I mean, investigating the skull. I mean, you see that it, looks to be a pretty typical ox skull. There's nothing particularly out of the ordinary out of it aside from the runes all over its horns. As you're kind of turning this over in your hands, like when you are kind of like holding on to the horns, you hear kind of a faint moo in the distance when you're holding the horns while you're kind of investigating this thing.
Do I recognize a way to get it out of here intact?
From any attempt that you've tried, as soon as it passes the silo, it disintegrates. Boo, are you out on those steps, or did you step into the room at all?
No, I haven't gone into the room yet, I don't think. I'm just kind of watching.
Okay.
And observing Jinku.
And you do all hear that kind of faintly echoing moo, as Mix is looking over this skull and kind of handling the horns and like holding onto them as he kind of investigates it. You all hear this kind of moo in the distance. It's kind of echoing.
I'm gonna look back at Mix and say that I think that unless we figure out how to turn this in both rooms, the unicorn and the door are our best money-making options. So stop Jinku.
So, when he was handling the skull, you said that as soon as it tried to leave the silo, it disintegrated?
Yeah, like as soon as you leave the silo and get into the pasture, it just disintegrates
Okay.
instantly.
Which way
What
is
about
my skull
turning it?
facing?
It's facing the way that it's facing in the image. It's facing west.
I can't tell what way it's facing. It just looks like a square.
Oh, it's the little detail in the square. There's a little triangle with horns. It's pointing to the west. And the one up, the other one is pointing to the south.
So the face of the skull is pointing towards the pasture.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yep.
I'm going to yell, let's start turning the skulls in different directions.
If I stand
I'll
behind...
turn mine first.
If I stand behind my skull,
Uh-huh.
so it's looking at the pasture and it there's a clear, like, path.
Uh-huh.
And I hold the horns.
Uh-huh.
Does anything else other than the moo start to happen?
Mix, are you holding the horns in your room as well? Or no?
At her direction, yes.
Okay, so both of you are holding the horns. Okay. So, as you are both holding the horns, the sky over the pasture darkens, and the door on the southern end of this room shuts. And a minotaur appears in the middle of the pasture. And it does not look particularly happy.
Oh, fuck.
What if we immediately both turn our skulls, me to the west and her to the north?
While you're turning it, are you holding onto the horn still?
Yes.
Nothing seems to change as you're holding these horns, or turning the skulls.
What if we just both let go?
If you both let go of them, the Minotaur fades away, and it actually kind of looks relieved. You hear a sigh of relief from it as it fades away.
I'm going to yell down to Boo.
And the door reopens when you guys take your hands off the horns.
Yell down to Boo. Hey, Boo. Let us know what works and what doesn't. And I'm going to aim mine to the east. And hers, whatever direction she wants to.
I guess I'll point mine to the north.
Okay.
I assume we're both holding on to the horns at this point.
Okay.
Are we?
Are you?
I'm asking Mix.
Yes, we are.
Okay. I mean, any time that both of you are holding the horns at the same time, this Minotaur reappears angry and ready to attack.
Okay, so no matter where we're pointing at.
Yep. The direction seems to have no bearing on anything whatsoever.
Okay, I'm going to let go of the horns.
Okay. Again, you hear this kind of, and the Minotaur disappears.
I'm not so sure that we should be messing with these skulls.
Maybe we should kill this Minotaur.
I mean, each time they're doing this, this door is slamming back shut behind you, Boo and Jinku.
Yeah, so would Boo even know there's a Minotaur unless we told him?
Yeah, he wouldn't know. He isn't in there. He's downstairs.
Hey, Boo, Jinku, get back in this room. We need to kill this Minotaur, and then we need to figure out the right combination.
But do we need to kill the Minotaur? What benefit is there to us?
Absolutely. Maybe he has the gold key.
I'm not convinced that that's something we should be doing.
I mean, you can try to
Okay,
get it. You
fine.
can try to get a look at it if you bring it back.
Okay, fine. Let's go over to the silver room, or the silver door.
All right.
And the silver key. And if Jaco's done destroying the Bryce's door, that could make us a lot of money to fix up the manor. Be okay?
So while the whole time they've been in there, I want to use that magic fiery thing I had on this door.
The Alchemist Fire? Okay.
I don't.
Oh, I was gonna debate like the actual validity of how hot is magic fire, but if it's actually alchemist fire, that shit is.
Yeah, it's alchemist fire. They're bottles of alchemist fire.
Okay. What do I need to do for that?
Um, just take it out of your inventory since you used it.
No,
So-
Nix, this is why you guys were doing that. You're not down here.
Although, would it be better to drag the pieces into that side room and then do it in there so it's not a giant fire blocking the hallway?
That's good thinking.
Probably a good idea considering
I
that it's
mean,
the only hallway
Not
out.
that
you
Sayara is out
Jinku.
there, but maybe Jinku had that idea.
I think because she does not want Mix to have this door. So no, like this is why you guys were doing.
Yeah, this is why you guys were grabbing
you are-
horns and
Yeah, you're not out in the hallway, dude.
You're still obsessed with some skulls.
you're still being horny.
Yeah, horny with some bones.
Okay, so yes, I would have probably put the pieces back in that little room there, and then yeah, let's light this bitch up.
Just chucked an alchemist fire in there.
With a mimic corpse.
Yeah.
How Jinku rolls.
Alright. So the other two are up there. The door is slammed shut and opened a few times. They're doing things in there. You don't know what. But you chuck the bottle of alchemist fire that you got through this door into this little room, and it immediately just erupts the whole thing into flames. So this mimic corpse, this door pieces, the chest that was in there, and some of the other things that were various kind of scattered around in there, they all just start getting consumed in this alchemist fire.
Cool.
Standing even just standing right near the gap in the wall between those two, it is uncomfortably hot where that is. So you kind of stand back a little bit just to avoid getting burned. But the rest of you,
Perfect.
are filing out of this room up there. Like you've brought this minotaur in and out a few times, and it sounds like you've decided to go over to the silver key door.
As soon as Meg sees this, he's gonna be look at her and be like, "You dumb elephant bitch! Do you realize how much we could have made off that door?"
Do
It
you
could've been
realize
enough
how
to finish
insulting
it.
that door is to me? Do you not see what is on my face? Tusks, ivory.
I see what's on your face,
You're an insensitive
but
bastard.
seriously,
Nope. She walks away from
we
him.
could have
Nope.
made enough to finish the matter. Are you serious?
This is a fight you've lost. Just accept it.
Nick's gonna run out in front of her and go across the electric plates
Okay.
and sit here and wait at the silver door. He's just gonna be pissed. He's
Okay.
really pissed.
The rest of you all go over to the silver door and make your way through the traps that you'd already figured out a while ago.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So you guys are all over at the silver door that eluded you before. One of you has the key. I feel like it's Zara that has the key. Somebody does.
I think it's Ayara.
Yeah, I think I do.
Well, whoever has the key, I assume you go and open this door.
Yep.
Okay. So, as you open...
Mix is-
Oh, go ahead, Max.
Mix, as soon as the door opens, Mix is gonna pry a crowbar in there and start trying to pry it off.
Alright. Well,
What is with you indoors?
as soon as this door is open, I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw for me. Wow, nice. All right. So as this door is opening, you see kind of a little bit of a small hallway beyond it. And this hallway from ceiling to floor is filled with these polished steel spheres of various sizes. Some of them are 6 inches wide, some of them are a couple feet wide. And they all just come tumbling out of this door at once as you open it. Most of you manage to dodge out of the way or kind of deftly dance your feet back and forth along the floor and avoid getting knocked over. Jinku, you get knocked prone by a particularly large steel ball that comes barreling out of the door, and take. Let's see here. 8 bludgeoning damage as that crashes over you and knocks you prone. And this goes on for, maybe 10-15 seconds or so as all these steel balls are kind of bouncing and rolling out of this door. Most of them kind of end up falling into that pit behind you guys. But eventually they have all mostly emptied out. There's still a few scattered around on the floor. And you can see a larger room beyond.
Oh.
So, do you go through the door and, pick yourself... Oh, I guess Jinku picks herself up. Do you?
Mix is gonna laugh when Jinku is knocked down. He's gonna find that very hilarious. Because you just burnt like 1,000 gold worth of door.
Do you have to teach you something about sensitivity and honor?
Mix has a new answer to the last time he had a good laugh question.
Mix
So
is
does
gonna
Jinku.
run-
There you go. Jinku finally has an answer.
He has a good chuckle memory.
Mix is gonna run in the middle of this room and just like start finding everything of value.
Well, there isn't much value.
Sire is going to help Jinku up.
So when you look into this room, oops, didn't mean to do that. So the walls of this chamber are lined with kind of rough-looking, kind of tan bricks, and this floor is just littered with kind of rubbish and like rusted equipment and bones, dried up bits of creatures. It's pretty gruesome in here, from what you've seen. Mix, as you run in here, with where you went to, roll 2 dexterity saving throws for me for the distance you ran. Okay. Alright. So you're standing in the middle of this room full of dried up gore, bones, rubbish, and other such things. What are the rest of you doing?
I'll
He's
join
gonna
him.
be in the middle of this room and he's gonna scream, "Pry the freaking door off and let's get out of here." She already destroyed the last one.
Boo, roll me 2 dexterity saving throws if you're running up there. Alright, so Boo, you are, let me move you to where you are given that roll. So you step into the room here, into that rubbish, and you suddenly feel a pang of pain in your leg and find yourself restrained. And you look down and see that your foot has been caught in a bear trap, and you've taken 7 points of damage.
Oh shit.
And upon this bear trap triggering on you, you hear a door on the far eastern wall open, and a number of skeletons come rushing out.
Guys, I'm in a bear trap. And there's skeletons, so
That's just Boo's whole reaction to this whole thing. Guys, I'm in a bear trap.
I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna look back
Stay
at
in the back.
Jinka and be like, seriously? You took our biggest moneymaker away? Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
get over it. It's done with. Get over it.
Alright, rest of you guys, all roll initiative for me here.
You're a dumb elephant.
And you're
Dumbass.
a greedy asshole. There are more
Yeah.
important things than money.
Thank you, Zyara.
Alright. Boo, you're having great initiative tonight. So,
He has to make good rolls somewhere.
so you all hear, Boo kind of cry out in pain from this bear trap latching around his leg here. And you hear the kind of clattering noises of the undead coming from within this room. And that brings us to the top of the order with Boo.
Well, I'm gonna get out of the fucking bear trap. So I guess I'll try and pry this thing off of my leg.
Let me double check what you're... So you try, you reach down and try to do that with this trap, but you find that you just don't have the strength to. Like, you can't budge this thing at all yourself.
Oh, god damn it. Jacob, come get me out of this thing. And then I'll throw a magic missile at Skeleton 2, I guess, then.
Okay.
Can I do both of those things in a turn?
I'd say so because, like, if you reach down and just, like, try a little bit on this, like, you can tell, like, you just aren't strong enough at all to do anything with this. So I'm not going to say that's not an action worth of expenditure, so. Wow, very nice. Alright, so you strike out at Skeleton 2 with this magic missile. With all three of these, it looks like. And they whiz across the room, clattering or striking into the Skeleton 2, and it clatters into a variety of pieces all over the floor. It seems to have been quite effective.
That's it.
And Skeleton 2 is gone. Alright, that brings us to Mix. You're in the middle of the room. Skeletons are coming out of the wall.
I'm going to attack the skeleton.
Okay. Alright, so your Eldritch Blast arcs across the room here towards skeleton number 4, striking it pretty hard, doing quite a bit of damage to it. You blast off a good chunk of the bone, like one of its arms, and like a decent chunk of like the rib cage on that side is gone from that strike. Anything else, Mix? Alright. Zara, you've heard some commotion, or seen some on the other side of the door. What are you up to?
I'm gonna go here,
Okay.
and let's see, where away is this? Oh yeah, I can do that. I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on that skeleton.
Okay. Alright. Go ahead and roll the damage on that. Alright, so your Sacred Flame comes crackling down on this skeleton, doing quite a good bit of damage. Undead don't like Sacred Flame all too much. Anything else on your turn?
Well, it doesn't look like Boo needs healing yet, so I think that'll be it for me.
Okay. Alright. So, skeleton number 3. He kind of runs up here with his bony self. And, with the short sword that he has in his hand, strikes out at Mix. And manages to miss. Which brings us to Jinku. You've heard Boo calling for you from within the room here.
I will go to him and try to open up the trap.
Okay, let me double check. Okay, you're good. Okay, so with your strength, you do manage to pry open the trap off of Boo. And he is now free of that and is no longer restrained. And that took your action. Do you have any other things you want to do if you have like a bonus action or anything?
No.
Okay. Alright, that brings us to skeleton number 6, who runs out of the room here that he was in, and he raises his short bow and lets loose an arrow in Boo's direction, hitting and doing 6 piercing damage to you as this arrow strikes into you, Boo. You're not having a good day in this room.
No.
Blossom.
I'm going to move up to skeleton 6.
Okay. As you're doing that, give me 2 dexterity saving throws. Okay. With that first throw, so you manage to make it to here and find yourself, like Boo previously, a bear trap has closed around one of your feet, and you take 2. Go ahead and give yourself 2 points of damage from that, as that bites into you. All right, is there any attack that you try to do from where you are?
No.
Okay. Do you actually? Let me see. If you just so you're aware, you could use your action to try to free yourself from the trap.
Okay, I'll try to free myself.
Okay. So with the strength that you have within you, you do manage to have enough strength to pry that off. So you reach down and pry the claws of this bear trap apart, and you are no longer restrained for the next time your turn comes up. Which brings us to skeleton number 5, who runs up here, and with his short sword strikes at Mix, and he too manages to miss. Skeleton number 4 kind of runs across the room over to here, pulls out a short bow, and also tries striking at Mix. Ooh, and gets a critical hit with his bow. Ooh, dealing 13 piercing damage to you, Mix, as this arrow strikes into you. You do manage to hold... what did you have concentration on?
Oh, because I think, was it the Friends effect is still on me?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's long expired, so that doesn't matter then. But yeah, Mix, you've taken a heavy blow from this skeleton's short bow, and you find yourself being rapidly surrounded by these guys as they're running out of their little secret room. Skeleton number 1 kind of runs over here towards Blossom, and he uses his short sword to strike and misses. Brings us back to the top of the round with Blossom. The skeleton is just taking a swing at you here.
I'm going to take a swing back at him.
Alright, swing away. Alright, so you swing with your great axe here, and the shock of this bear trap that had closed around your ankle seems to still be getting to you a little bit, and you manage to miss against this skeleton. Zara.
I am going to target Jinku
Okay.
and heal.
Okay. Alright, so Zara, you reach out and cast Cure Wounds on the Jinku here, who's still a little beat up from this steel ball that rolled over her, and give her a little bit of relief from that. Anything else on your turn, Zara?
No, I'm just gonna stay here because I don't want to risk the healer getting caught in a bear trap.
Fair point. Fair.
Very good call.
Alright. Skeleton number 4. Seems pretty emboldened by this good shot that it got last time, and tries to take another one. And manages to hit again. And Mix, you see Mix go down in the middle of the room from this arrow. Skeleton number 5, seeing that Mix has gone down, moves up to Blossom and tries to strike. And manages to completely miss. Skeleton number 3 kind of steps up a little bit here, pulls out his own short bow, and tries to shoot at Boo. And he manages to hit, dealing another 4 damage to Boo. Boo, you are no longer restrained, and have been taking some blows. What are you up to?
I will do Toll the Dead on Skeleton.
Okay. Alright, it fails its save. Go ahead and roll the damage. Very nice. So your bell rings out in direction of skeleton number 5, dealing a heavy bit of damage to it. Anything else, Boo?
Nope.
Okay. Skeleton number 1, again, tries to take a swing at Blossom here. Gets a critical hit as well.
Man, these skeletons are nasty.
And and despite getting a critical hit, rolls terribly bad and does only 6 damage. That was a really bad critical hit roll on the skeleton's part. Wow. Good for Blossom, though. And that brings us to Jinku.
Honestly, I don't really want a chance walking in any further, so I think I'm just gonna have my flail ready, and if any of the skeletons get within attacking distance, I'll attack.
Okay. Mix. Crit success on the death save. Nice one, Mix. And Mix is back up. So you find yourself, Skeleton 3 is kind of a, as surprised as a skeleton can look, sees you kind of bringing yourself back up off the ground, Mix. And you are here with us again. I forget, do you still get an action after a critical success on a death save? I feel like you do.
I do.
Alright. Action away.
X wants to retreat. If he gets a attack of opportunity, it's a good shit.
There would be some attacks of opportunity if you tried to retreat from your position. Okay. Let me roll those here. That would be skeleton. Oops. One sec. Let me.
If he can, he's gonna retreat behind everybody and be like, "Go for it, bitches."
Okay. So Skeleton 3 was right in front of you, tries to attack as you step away. Skeleton 5 was preoccupied with Blossom, but he misses as you manage to move away. All right. So is that all you do, Mix? Do you do anything after you move? Cast anything at all?
Hold on. I think I have something that can. Is that my action?
Yeah, wouldn't... Because he just saved.
Oh. Well, movement isn't an action. Movement's movement.
Well, I know, but are you saying he gets a full turn after saving?
You know, let me look that up. That's a good question. Let's see.
Because I thought it was on a regular save. That's your whole turn, and if you get a crit save, you can move, and that's it.
So looking it up, if you get a critical save or critical success on your death save, that puts you at 1 hit point, and you can then take your full turn, according to the PHP.
Okay.
So you can still move and take an action, since you critical success.
So I moved away. I want to use healing light.
Okay.
So that is number 6 equal to my cleric level,
Okay.
or my warlock level.
Yeah.
So that is 11 hit points.
Okay. Go ahead and apply that to yourself then.
No, I'm not going to do it to myself
Oh, okay.
because my critical save gave me 10. I'm going to give it to Rita Jinku, Rita Boot.
You said 3 to Jinku and 3 to Booth.
Rita Zara.
Okay.
I'm not
So that's
damaged.
9.
Oh, Zara's not damaged.
Wait, Blossom, 3 to Blossom.
Okay.
And so that's 9, and I have
2 left.
3 left. 2 left. I'm gonna leave those to myself.
Okay. So Blossom, Boo, Jinku, go ahead and heal yourself for 3. And then yourself for 2. Mix. Alright. And that takes up all your actions there. Which brings us to skeleton number 6. Who seeing that Mix has retreated, kind of moves up a little bit, and with his his short bow out, tries to take a shot at Zyara here at the edge of the room. Does hit, dealing 6 piercing damage as this arrow strikes into you, Zyara. Which brings us to you, Zyara, on the top of the order.
Okay. I think I'm going to use Sacred Flame on skeleton number 4.
Okay. Alright, so your Sacred Flame descends towards this skeleton, and it manages to get out of the way of it with a dexterous little jump. Anything else?
I think I'm just gonna take a step back. That's it.
Okay. Blossom. You got skellies around you.
I'm going to attack at 1 again.
Okay, strike away. Ugh. Dice are not your friends tonight, Blossom. So you...
No, they're not.
Yeah. I don't know if you've hit one yet. Man, those are not treating you good.
I've hit one thing once.
Ugh. That sucks. Alright, so you roll here with your great axe, take another swing at this skeleton. You're still a little off balance here from getting caught in this bear trap. And the strikes you have taken, and that misses. Skeleton 1 strikes back with its short sword He hits, dealing 6 damage to you. Skeleton 4 can't seem to get a read on Mix, who fled to the back there, but does get a read on Jinku and tries to shoot an arrow in that direction. And that misses. It clinks harmlessly against the wall. Skeleton number 5 strikes out at Blossom, misses. Skeleton number 6, it tries to take another shot at Zayara, also missing. Seeing around the corner seems to have made it a little more difficult of a shot for it. Boo! Got a whole mess of skellies in front of you. Alright, that bell takes hold and strikes Skeleton 5. That bell rings out, and it kind of, the bones, like, you can see it kind of raising up its arms as this kind of sound rings through it, and then its bones just kind of clatter apart into pieces on the floor. And he is no more. Alright, anything else, Boo?
No, that's it.
Okay. Skeleton 3. Skeleton 3 tries to take another short bow strike back towards Mix in the back, and he misses as well. Which brings us to you, Mix. Alright. Flaming Sphere, that's a new one. What does that one look like? I mean, obviously a flaming sphere. What does it do?
Flaming sphere goes across the room and engulfs. And he screams in agony. Even if it's a save, it's like getting burnt alive.
Is that flaming sphere like is it a projectile sphere that like travels across the room, or is it like in a particular place? Projectile. Okay, so this place, so it's just big ball fire. All right, so that deals a decent bit of damage to him. Anything else from you, Mix? All right, on the Jinku. Jinku. Skelly Surfoot.
I'm gonna try shooting Skeleton 4 with my bow. I don't want to go any further into this.
Okay. That hits. Roll the damage on that. Fantastic. So, your bow strikes true. You know, even if it's been a little while since you used it, you still know what you're doing with it. And Skeleton 4 is no more. Which brings us to Blossom.
Blossom's mad. Blossom's gonna rage again.
Alright, Blossom rages. Roll me that roll me that rage table for me. A 1. A 1. Oh boy. Necrotic energy bursts from you. Each creature within 30 feet. So skeleton, 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 boo. Fuck, that's everybody. So everybody takes 1d10 necrotic damage, and Blossom gains temporary hit points equal to the sum of the total necrotic damage dealt to the creatures. Holy fuck. That is a lot of temporary hit points. Holy fuck. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So everybody takes 5 damage. And Blossom, you gain 35 temporary hit points. Holy shit. Wow. With this damage that has burst forth from you, like, what does this necrotic energy burst look like? when that comes out of you, Blossom.
It kind of looks like lightning, but
Okay.
it's the same color as my skin.
Interesting. Okay. So that bursts out of you, just sucking the life force out of this massive area around you, friend and foe alike. And you find yourself massively strengthened with the life force of this. Skeleton 1 is gone with this attack. Skeleton 6 and Skeleton 3 remain. They did take some damage from it, though. Man, all right. What do you? Well, that was just your rage. You still got your attack.
Yeah, rage is just a bonus action, so
All right.
I'm going to move up to skeleton 6 here.
Okay. Roll that dexterity save for me. We'll see if you get restrained or not. Okay. Let's see. You do get restrained. You are close enough to the skeleton to still attack it, but you can't move from that spot until that traps off you, and you take 1 damage, which at this point, not a big deal to you. You feel a little pinprick in your foot as this bear trap clings around it, but doesn't seem to phase you too much. Go ahead and roll your attack on that skeleton 6. That hits.
And because I'm raging, I get +2 to damage.
Fuck yeah. Alright. You strike. You strike good. And that skeleton 6 goes down. He is no more. Alright. Which brings us to Boo. This nude Tabaxi has just sucked the life force out of you a bit and gone barreling across the room at the skeleton.
Half inclined to use the bell on him, but I'll use it on,
Alright.
on this.
Alright.
We're a bit of a spiteful bunch, aren't we?
I guess so tonight. Jeez. Alright, so your bell rings out, and the skeleton manages to shake that off with no effect. Anything else?
No.
Alright, Zara. You two have also felt some of your life force siphoned off. And one skeleton remains.
So, after having to lean against the wall a bit to get over the sudden lightheadedness of having some of her life force taken, Zyara casts Sacred Flame on the remaining skeleton.
Alright, fire away. Skeleton fails its save. Roll that damage. Nice. Alright, you deal another 4 radiant damage to this skeleton.
That's it.
Alright. Jinku. 1 skeleton remains.
Gonna go with the bow again.
Fire away. That strikes. I think 5 damage. Arrow.
And I'm gonna
Oh, go
use
ahead.
my action surge and attack it again.
Alright.
Go
Critical.
action, sir.
Nice.
Hit.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah! Nice one,
Suck it,
Jinku.
Skelly.
Jinku gets the killing blow, striking this skeleton to
Jinku's just
the
had a really
ground.
bad day and needed to take it out.
I needed that win really bad. Although setting that door on fire did help.
Alright. The room has been cleared.
Who knew arson could be so therapeutic?
Alright, so looking around this room, I mean, there's these invisible bear traps everywhere that you can gather. Some of them are visible. The ones that have been triggered are visible, so you are able to see those ones now. But assumedly there are more elsewhere. But you're welcome to kind of investigate and see if you can suss those out at all.
I'm going to untrap myself.
Okay. Yep, you have your strength is high enough that you're able to do so with ease. The rest of you try to kind of slowly search around the room, checking for things, avoiding invisible traps.
Jinku's gonna stay where she's at. She's had enough of this place. She's ready to go home.
Okay. Let's say the rest of you.
I'm gonna go heal Boo,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm also kind of feeling the wanting to check out.
So I want to slowly walk around this room, and I'm going to use like the handle of my great axe to poke at the floor before I step there.
Sure. Roll an investigation check for me with advantage while you're doing that. Okay. So like you do manage to kind of walk around the room, like you make it over to like that door the skeletons came out of on the other side, without any additional damage to yourself. You got kind of a couple dings in the handle of your great axe a bit from the traps you triggered, which are all visible now as you've gone along in the pathway that you took. You did also, as you were kind of searching around, find a few things among the refuse. So let me... Okay. So you do find a few things. You find a pair of knucklebone dice, and on the side of the dice that would have 6 pips, there's a skull symbol instead of a 6. You find a small box filled with a variety of buttons. You find a quarterstaff that still seems to be in somewhat decent condition. And you also find a few other sets of more of these dice among some of the other corpses. Nothing too incredibly of note, but a few things.
Well, I'll grab the staff temporarily, and I'm definitely going to take the dice.
Okay.
What is in this skeleton room?
Sure. So...
That is this room in front of, right?
Yes. Well, actually, with the time it is, let's probably be time to take a quick bio break, because it is 10. So we can take a quick 5-minute break to bio, and come back, and then we'll finish out the rest with what we have left here, checking out this room and the other room, or we're leaving, depending on what you guys decide to do. So let's take a quick break. We'll be back. Get a drink. Stand up. Do what you need to do. We will return. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. So, Blossom checks out the room skeletons we're in. So, you see in the back end of this room, there's a mural that goes around all the walls of this chamber, which depicts numerous skulls of varying sizes all over a wasteland. And the sun is setting behind a low range of mountains in the distance, and the skulls are all casting these very long shadows. In the middle of the room, on one end of the room, there is a small altar, which is made entirely out of kind of dark-colored, splintered humanoid skulls, and the eye sockets of 3 of them have been filled with gemstones.
Ooh,
Okay.
I want to pry them gemstones out.
Okie dokie. You managed to do so without too much difficulty. Let me drop those all in the party sheet for you here. There is an azurite. Oops. Azurite, a blue quartz, a carnelian, a jasper, a malachite, and a moonstone. So 6 gems in total that you managed to bring out of here. Alright. And there is also in this larger room with the traps on the floor and stuff, there is a door on the northern end as well.
Oh, is there?
There is. Here, I'll kind of... You can see a little better there.
Alright, I want to try to make my way over to that door, and again, I'm going to use that quarterstaff this time and poke along the floor so I don't
Sure.
step in any more bear traps.
Sure. Go ahead and roll another investigation with advantage as you're kind of poking your way along with that quarterstaff. Okay. So you go along with this quarterstaff, triggering the various traps with it, which become visible as you do so, and make your way to this door on the northern end. Opening the door, you see a long staircase that leads upwards. And as soon as you open this door, you see like these grooves along the floor that go left to right. There are whirling blades kind of slowly moving across each of these slots in the floor all the way up the length of this. And there's also, at varying points along the ways, swinging blades above that swing back and forth up the length of this.
I found more stairs, guys.
Those stairs look kind of scary.
A
You
bit.
gonna go up them first?
He's the one with all the temporary hit points.
I'm hardly standing here, buddy.
Yes, I fear most of us are too wounded to try anything too adventurous.
I mean, I'm down. I welcome death. A release from him would be nice, but you survive it and I'll follow you.
Jinku's good out here.
How fast are these things moving?
I mean, they move back and forth across the floor. It's about 10 feet wide. I mean, they go a full length, so from one side to the other, in about be like 5 or 6 seconds. And so like every single one of these dark grooves has a blade in it, and then there's also swinging blades from above as well. Like you feel like if you like kind of were careful about it, like you feel like you could probably make it through with minimal.
So like the swinging blades, they're above the saws, right?
Yes,
Are they in sync with the saws, or
they're in like opposing sync with the saws. So like if the saw on the
Okay.
floor is on the right side, the blade is up on the left side, and then they both go across like shunk and swing. And it's like the entire chord, and like a lot, they're not like in the same time, like every single slot. So like every single slot is at like a different time, but like in each slot, they go back and forth together.
how tall is the ceiling?
Ceiling is about like 10 feet up, like 10, 12 feet up.
Okay. And the swinging blades, do they go into the wall, or do they stop at the wall?
They stop at the wall, as do the floor blades. Like they go to the edge as far as like the width of the blade will take them, and then come back. But like just from your observation looking at it, you feel that if like you kind of took your time about it, that you could probably uh, get through fairly well if you just were mindful of the timing.
And how large are the steps? Like, how much space in between each of these traps would I have?
About it's like 2 feet. So pretty close together between each one.
All right, I'll take my time and
Okay.
try to get up these stairs.
Sure. So give me, let's see, what the distance this takes. Let's see, it's 5, 10. What's your speed? Your speed's what, 30?
Yeah.
30? Okay. So let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, give me 2 dexterity saving throws with advantage, since you're taking your time. Okay. And the second one. Okay. So you make your way up these. About a third of the way up, you do get nicked by one of them and take 2 slashing damage, but you do manage to make the rest of the way without any further incident. So you're at the top, and you find yourself in a small, domed room, which has walls of polished white marble. And in the center of this room is a 3-foot high marble pedestal with kind of a ornate column, and a plush red pillow sits on the top. And sitting on the pillow is a single copper piece.
Okay, I'll pick up the copper piece.
Okay. Do you examine it at all, or just put it in your pocket?
Yeah, sure. We'll examine it.
Okay. So as you pick it up, you hear kind of a voice say, "Congratulations!" And you look at this coin, and you see around the edge that it says that this coin was minted in the year 1364 at the golden anniversary of the reign of Lord Pierre Giron of the Paladinson.
doesn't appear like any traps or anything were triggered.
Nope. Nothing aside from just a voice telling you congratulations and that you have a coin that was for someone's golden anniversary.
Okay. I'm gonna make my way back to the others.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me 2 more dexterity throws with advantage as you go back through the blade hallway. Nice. Nice. Alright. You managed to make your way back through without any incident. And you make your way back to the rest of the party with this coin in tow, as well as the gems from the other room.
Well, I got a coin.
Oh, what's it look like?
I'll show it to Boo.
Okay. Boo, you look it over and see that same inscription that it was minted for the golden anniversary of Lord Pierre Giron.
Does it seem magical or anything?
It doesn't seem to be anything particularly magical about it. It seems like a pretty regular kind of anniversary coin. But
Neat.
Let's go put it in the gold doors.
Hey, there was the door that had the coin slot, remember?
yeah,
That we couldn't figure out. We put a bunch of coins in it. What about this one, Blossom? What do you think?
Yeah, let's go try it. I mean, it was in here. It was sitting on a fancy red pillow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this place all seems to be connected. That I can't quite figure out. I know we're missing a couple of the puzzles yet, but I think this one might do it. Let's go see, guys.
okay. You all make your way back over to that room with the golden door.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys make your way back across the blue alley over to this room with the door that you had yet to figure out. And insert the golden anniversary coin into the golden door. And you hear a kind of a satisfying clink, and the door opens. And you see kind of behind it in a little kind of shelf behind the door is a kind of odd looking lantern. And I'll drop that into the party sheet for y'all. It looks like this.
Nice.
I'll take a hold of it and look at it. Does it seem like anything I've seen before? Do I know what it is at all?
You aren't quite sure what properties it might have. Like, you can kind of sense there's some sort of magic to it. It's not a normal lantern. But you aren't quite sure of all of its capabilities.
I think this warrants further study. Do you guys mind if I take a closer look at it at home?
Fine by me.
Alright. Alright, so at this point, what do you guys do? You make your way back home finally?
I think the majority vote is that we need to go home.
Yes.
That lantern disappeared when I went to move it.
Oh, did it? Let me try adding it in there again. Did that work?
Yeah, same thing. Try dropping it like right into my inventory.
Okie doke.
Sorry, I think it's because it's unidentified, so it's is why it might. I don't know if that's it because I've seen you guys take those before, but I don't know. Party sheet breaks a lot.
Okay. Oh, whoops, I added it twice. Okay. It's in your inventory. It's currently listed as a lantern.
Sure.
But you can look more into that later on. All right, so do you guys head back out home
Yeah, I
Yes.
believe
with the
that's
loot
the
that you
plan.
have? All right. We got a decent haul of stuff, along with the thing you came here for.
Oh, we got what we came here for?
Yeah, the Celestite
Yeah.
unicorn. You got
That
that?
was like the
Okay.
first thing we got.
Yeah, that was the room with the mirrors all over the walls that you were trying to figure out how
Oh,
to get
I
in.
remember. That one was a pain. Yeah, okay. I'm a little battle weary, guys. I apologize. Right.
Yeah, you have been in here quite a while. So you all make it out of the blue alley. You kind of stumble out and into the street. The sun seems to be high in the sky. You kind of shade your eyes a bit stepping out of this. And it seems you've been in there, at least it seems like a day almost. It seems you've been in there. Not quite sure how the time worked in this odd dungeon in the middle of the city. Around you, again, see all these various tourist trap type shops offering various silly trinkets related to the Blue Alley. And you make your way back to the manor. So once you guys show up at the Troll Skull Manor, inside you find Talisavar and Horace. They've been there, working on that order that you had from them. And they had mentioned before you'd left that they just need a little, probably another day or so, and they would be done. And it turns out that that was correct. And so you find that the manor is, pretty full of quite an array of furniture now, very nicely furnished in that regard. You do, as you come through the front door, you see, Tally's kind of, busying himself about kind of, setting things up in little table arrangements and kind of shifting things around. And as you come in, he says, "Oh, it's good to see you were back. How did it go?"
Well, we were able to procure what you asked us to.
Well, he was the one who was asking.
Oh. I'm not following who's talking. I'm sorry.
Talisavar. He was the wood elf who works at the wood shop down the street from you guys. The guy who hired you was the big guy with the mutton chops named Mert. He was a moneylender.
Okay.
It
I'm so tired.
it was trying, Talismar. It was trying, but we made it. We're back. How have you been, friend?
Well, it's been good. Managed to finish the order here as thanks for your assistance to my brother. I'm sure Mert will come around in due time to collect what he sent you in there for. Oh, while you were away, there was a visitor that stopped by that seemed interested in some assistance that you could offer him. And he kind of heads over to the bar, kind of looking for a scrap of paper where he may have written something down, and pulls it out and says, "Ah, yes, a man from the Castellanter household stopped by. They're a noble family with a villa in this northeastern part of town, but he had stopped in on behalf of his master and was inquiring if the adventurers who had taken up the residence here in Trollskull Manor were around. His master had some family business that he needed some assistance with if you were interested."
You got his name and stuff for me here?
Yes, the
thank you.
Castellanters.
Castle Lanterns. Right, I'll remember that when I wake up, I'm sure. Thank you so much for doing that for me. Tell me, you said you were done with all of the work here, huh?
Yes, the furnishings are all complete. You'll find them here, of course, on the first floor and some up on the upper floors as well for the residence areas. We hope you make good use of them. I think it'll be nice to see some light to come back to this place.
Yes, we will make good use of them. I'm sure we will have more use for you. As long as you can be discreet.
Let me give you a... So you may recall, last time you saw Troll Skull, at least the map that you had seen, it didn't look quite so great. But here's a bit of an updated view of the first floor here, with furnishings in place. Not everything that's pictured here is here. There's still some repairs that need to be done, but in terms of the tables, the chairs, woodwork type stuff, that is all done, and things are looking quite a bit nicer in here. It's definitely feeling a little more like home. So I assume you guys all go crash, take a good sleep.
Yeah, I think all of us need a rest.
Understandable. So yeah, Talisvar packs up, his tools that were still around and heads out of the bar and leaves you all to it. And you head upstairs to get some rest. So we'll give you all a nice rest here. So the next morning...
Long rest or short rest?
Long rest. I triggered it for y'all. So...
Sweet.
Everyone is rested. So the next morning... Let me pull up... Where is that? There he is. There's Mert. So, the next morning, as you guys awake, feeling quite rejuvenated and rested after your long ordeal in the Blue Alley dungeon, and you all are kind of going through the various things that you managed to bring out of there. A variety of gems, this lantern, this celestite unicorn, various other things that you had found. And Mert walks in the front door of the place. Kind of hard to miss him. And he has kind of a jovial smile on his face. Kind of looks you over. He says, "Ah! You seem well rested. I take it the Blue Alley didn't do you too much harm."
No, it didn't do too much. Good
Nothing
sir. We
permanent,
got
at
what you
least.
needed. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I'll be happy to add that to the collection. Please, let me take a look at it.
This was for a collection? Did this just for a collection item?
Oh yeah, he's kind of an eccentric collector type dude.
I mean, technically, we did it for the money, but...
True. Alright, so do you pass the celestite unicorn over to him here?
I don't see why we wouldn't.
Alright. He's kind of turning this statuette of this unicorn over in his hands and kind of has kind of a childlike smile on his face, kind of looking this over. He seems pretty overjoyed to have this fine piece of work. He says, "Well, you've more than earned your keep here, and I will pay you what I owe you here." And kind of digs through one of his many various pockets and pulls out a decently hefty bag here with the 250 gold pieces that he had promised to you. He says, "Well, with that, and I hope you enjoy anything else you've found in there. There's quite a few treasures to be had in there. I hope you made off with more than just what you came for.
A little bit more.
He kind of laughs. Yes, that was... I remember those days. Venturing days. Good times. Good times. He kind of wraps his stick on the ground here and waves his goodbyes to you and heads out the door with the Celestite unicorn that you had procured for him. And you find yourself a little richer.
Cool.
So let me give a second here. What was the button to just like divvy up coins across everybody? Is it that downward
It's a little
pointing?
downward button, yeah.
Okay. Alright, so 250 GP to the party. Alright. Well, things are looking good. You guys have, got this inquiry that seems to have happened while you were away. Let me bring up the list of repairs that still need to be done. So, still quite a few things to be repaired, but most of the ones that are left, aside from the water damage, aren't too bad. A lot of smaller things. But you're coming along quite nicely with the gold. Let me see. How much gold do you guys have right now? Nice. Okay. So it looks like right now across all of you, you've got about 430 gold in gold coin, at least. But you do have a number of various gemstones and things that can be sold as well for additional. So you do have more than that on hand.
Should we do this Red Dead style and have like a money safe bolted to the bar that we put money into for the group?
Well, you certainly can.
Only if we can have a intimidating looking weapon near it.
I'll stick my familiar on top of it.
Maybe give him a tiny dagger.
So as you are all, kind of counting things out here, kind of organizing the things that you retrieved. Boo, were you looking into this lantern that you got at all?
Yeah, if it you said it seemed magical, so I'm most definitely looking at, trying to figure out more what's going on with it. What it is.
Okay. Go ahead and... Well, I mean, in terms of magical items, there are a variety of resources around in Waterdeep, and I think... let me look. I think you might have a neighbor that would be good for that. Let me double check.
I thought there was a bookkeeper or something. Or he seemed knowledgeable.
Yeah, Rishal over at the Bookworm would probably be able to do some identification for you if you took that over to them.
But I didn't know. I was trying to remember of who else. Oh, I might have met. If we had met a neighbor that might be able to help.
Let's see. There's Bookworm. Let's see, that's the private investigator. That's Froon's Brews. Corlin's Crown is more naturalist stuff. Steam and Steel, which is the blacksmith. And then the Bent Nail, which is Talus of R. Yeah, Bookworm, in terms of like your local neighborhood area, Bookworm would probably be the best bet that you could think of in terms of that kind of thing.
Well, I need to go to the wood shop anyway, so I'll go. I'll take it
To
to the bookworm guy
Bookworm?
because I need to go out anyway, so I'll go out and take it to him.
Okay. Alright, so Boo, you head over to the Bookworm down the street here and make your way inside. Rashal is busying themselves on kind of a shelf in the off to the side of the store. Seems to be arranging some books over there. You know, like before, you notice that, I mean, stepping in here, it seems larger than it should be on the outside, which, you know, still kind of throws you off a little bit anytime you walk into the store. It's kind of odd. But Rashal kind of notices you as you walk in and smiles and kind of nods in your direction and kind of returns to doing some organizing and dusting off of the shelf that they're over by.
I'll take it. I'll look around and find them and like have this lantern and shine it. Like I'll be shining it around while I'm trying to look for them, and
Okay.
maybe they'll notice me because of it.
So as you get kind of near Rashal over here, you're kind of shining this lantern around. Like Rashal's like, you know, busying themselves on this shelf, and then, you know, as you're getting near, you kind of hear a kind of gasp of surprise, and you hear them. You know, they seem to be picking something up off the shelf. This book that seems to kind of shimmer, has kind of like a shimmering effect on it, and they say, "Oh, I had wondered where this had gone. Sneaky thing." And he kind of looks down at you with your lantern here. "That's quite a little lantern you've got there, friend."
Yeah, I just picked it up. I was hoping you might know about it or be able to tell me something about it. It seems to be kind of unique.
"Yes, indeed." And he kind of looks over this lantern as you kind of hold it up to them here, and he says, "Well, I've seen a few of these before. They're not particularly common, but they are around. This appears to be a lantern of revealing, which allows you to see that which is unseen, that is in its light." And he kind of holds up this book that still has kind of a little bit of a shimmer around it, and he says, "This magical tome is a tome of illusion spells, and it seems one of its own got cast on it, but your light found it for me here." And he kind of gives you some details about this. So this hooded lantern can burn for 6 hours on 1 pint of oil and sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius. And invisible creatures and objects are visible as long as they are in the light. And if you wish, you can use an action to lower the hood on the lantern, which reduces the light to a dim 5-foot radius if you ever need to, like, kind of hide the light for a moment.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, it can reveal invisible stuff.
Neat. That's pretty cool.
Let me update your... Is there a way to, like you mentioned, like, the issue might have been that it wasn't, like, identified before? Like,
So now in my inventory, you open the lantern, and there's a little ID button with like a no sign through it. You need to click it, and then it shows me what it is, and I can see.
Oh, perfect. Okay, sweet. Yep, you can see lantern revealing. There you go. You now know what's up.
Cool. All right. That's pretty sweet. And is the woodworker guy on the way back home? I want to talk to him about making a staff.
The woodworker guy, he's on the other I mean, he's like 2 houses down from Troll Skull in the other direction. So like you're in like a little alley. It's not like it's that far.
I don't know.
Here, I'll give you
It's
that.
like a lot of effort.
There's Troll Skull.
Trying to socially distance.
So yeah, the manor's in the middle with the tower, and the bent nail is the one just to the east of it, at kind of the end of that little block that the manor's on. With the pin. And Bookworm is the other way. But yeah, you can certainly stop in there and see on that.
I wanted to go talk to him about making a blackwood staff.
A Blackwood staff, okay. Let me find any info about that here.
It's that I don't think that's a real thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm just wanting a nicer staff.
Okay. All right, so you step into the shop here, and Tally's, kind of off to the side working, has some piece of furniture kind of over some, over like a bench here, working on tooling and some things on the edges as you walk in. He looks up and sees you. Ah, hello, friend. Need some more assistance over at the manor, or?
No. I just needed to inquire about you doing some work for me here. You did such good work at the manor. I can't help but want to have you do further business.
Ah, yes, of course. He kind of dusts off his hands on his apron here and kind of turns around towards the door. He says, "Well, what brings you in?"
I'm looking to have this old thing replaced, and do I have a staff? I think I do. Yeah, I do.
Pretty sure you do.
I'll
Yeah.
show him my quarter staff, and I'm sure it's kind of beat up, and I'll say it's time for something a little nicer now that I'm moving about in higher circles.
Yes, of course. Something a little classier. And he kind of thinks about this for a bit. He says, "Well, I can certainly find something to craft a staff. I can't really do so much on the, imbuing it with magical properties side, but I could certainly do the construction of it."
Exactly what I need from you, sir. Exactly what I need. And I'll explain to him that I'm looking for a black wood, and for him to bind it in like iron rings at certain intervals.
Okay. He kind of takes notes here with kind of the plans you're thinking of, and he says, "Well, I don't have any wood of that type here right now, but I could certainly put in an order for it and have some shipped in. Probably would take." He kind of thinks about it for a moment. He says, "Well, there's a place not too far from here that has that kind of wood. I could probably have it here in a few days, and then, maybe a good day or so afterwards for the work, putting it together, fixing the iron fittings. So probably mid next week, I'd say, would probably be a good bet."
Cool, thanks. I'll be back.
All right. Well, I'll get that put in, and we'll get that sorted out once it's all put together.
I'll go back home.
All right. And I think at that, this would probably be a good place to stop for tonight. Nice work, guys. Made it out with some loot.
The unicorn.
And a unicorn for a weird guy. Alright, thanks everybody for stopping by. We will see you guys in 2 weeks for more.